Welcome to Chelsea News. Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, Jan. I hope you lot all doing well today. Chelsea are unbeaten in 16, maybe even 17 games. So hopefully you're good if you're a Chelsea fan. And welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series right here on Football Therapy, where I go across football news media, see what's been said about the Blues, consolidate it into one package for you there, the viewer, giving you my opinion, but hey, more importantly, asking for yours. Couple of things I want to talk about today. Super Frankie Lampard's updates on both Callum Hudson-Odoi and Hakim Ziyech's injuries and what that means for our winger situation. Do we have to see more of Kai Havertz out on the right wing or not? Also, it's been rumoured around the rags this morning that Steven Gerrard, Slippy G, wants Billy Gilmour at Rangers. That's right, a return for the young Scotsman for a 6 months loan? A lot to crack into. If you're like me and you need to keep plugged into Chelsea Football Club and know what's going on all the time, of course, keep it locked to Football Therapy and subscribe. But also, it's a perfect opportunity to let you know that Chelsea News is brought to you by OneFootball. That's right, my sponsor OneFootball will keep you connected to the beautiful game regarding news, transfer news for the Blues, as well as statistics, lineups, fixture lists, everything you'd ever need, match alerts, for anything you choose, any team, your international team or club side. It's totally free, OneFootball, and you can access it simply by clicking that link in the top of the description, which is super easy. Why wouldn't you do yourself the favour? Alright then, let's crack into today's news. Before we talk about Billy Gilmour going away just as he was looking wonderful, let's talk about Hakim Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, Chelsea are incredibly short on wingers. Both of them, I believe, have hamstring injuries. Certainly, Hakim Ziyech does, leaving Chelsea very short in the winger department. Christian Pulisic being our only fit conventional winger. Of course, you can put Timo Werner out on the left-hand side and then push Christian Pulisic perhaps to his lesser favoured right-hand side. And you have Kai Havertz who can do a job on the right wing, but ultimately, it's not where you want to be playing him. You want to be playing him in more central areas, much like Mason Mount, but at least with Kai Havertz he can cut in with his left boot a little bit and it kind of makes sense a tiny bit. Well, once asked about these two injuries, Frank Lampard had this to say. We think they're both going to be about 2 weeks. They both had scans yesterday, so it should be about 2 weeks. With Hakim, that's positive, while Callum, we didn't know what to expect, but it's good news overall on both. And ultimately, yes, that is good news on both, just a couple of weeks out. But it is a couple of weeks that Chelsea have to do without two of their free wingers, which is frustrating. At least the Champions League has finished now until the next year. And for the next couple of weeks, you would imagine Frank Lampard would deploy Pulisic and Werner out on the flanks with Olivier Giroud up top. Certainly you'd imagine Olivier Giroud would keep his place at this point after a poor performance from Tammy midweek, and Giroud being in scintillating form and seemingly being able to play with the wide forwards incredibly well. You'd imagine as soon as Hakim Ziyech is fit and good to go, he would be immediately dropped back in on the right wing, as he was looking like one of the most creative and deadly offensive players in the Premier League. And something I always say here in Football Therapy is he changes the dynamic of how Chelsea Football Club attack. It's a bit of a different one with Callum Hudson-Odoi. We yet to see him feature a little bit more. He would have started the game yesterday evening, of course, and that could have been a great opportunity for him to continue expressing himself in the Chelsea team. But I think Frank Lampard, he's reluctant to let him go in January. He does want to use him. He's happy with how he's training. So, by all accounts, Callum Hudson-Odoi will return and feature in this Chelsea team as soon as he is fit to do so. Alright then, let's move on and talk about the next story, which is Billy Gilmour to Rangers. Right, this headline slash gossip slash news maybe question mark originally surfaced in Scotland. Surprise, surprise. Apparently Steven Gerrard is looking for reinforcements to push on his positive charge with his Rangers side this January, and the latest player to be linked is former Rangers youngster Billy Gilmour. Now, of course, Billy Gilmour won man of the match last night in the Champions League on his Champions League debut. He's won man of the match awards on his full Champions League debut, his full Premier League debut, and of course his full FA Cup debut. What an incredible and interesting record. What do we think about this rumour linking Billy Gilmour to Rangers? in January for a 6-month loan to see him out to the rest of the season? Well, I'm not so sure to think. I think probably it's nonsense. One thing that thinks, oh, maybe there's something to it is that perhaps Steven Gerrard would be inclined to contact Frank Lampard. I don't know what their relationship is like these days and be like, look, mate, you've got an absolute gem there. The club knows Billy really, really well. He's just come back from injury. You've got an opportunity for him to play game in, game out until the end of the season for 6 months with us here at Rangers, somewhere where he's comfortable, and maybe put on, maybe win some silverware together. Who knows? The truth is, he's a valuable asset and I don't think Frank Lampard wants to let him go. But there would be theoretically value in him playing game in, game out for 6 months and then maybe slotting straight back into this Chelsea first team. But the truth is, with Billy Gilmour, man, he doesn't look like a kid who needs a loan, does he? He won man of the match again. He looks like a player that is ready to be dropped into this Chelsea side. It's just a decision for Frank Lampard, and Chelsea's thinking, look, right, are we going to drop N'Golo Kante for him for the big games? No, we're not, because no matter how good Billy Gilmour is, he's not going to replace what Kante does. Granted, Billy Gilmour played as a number 8 yesterday, and he can play both roles. So maybe, his auxiliary sort of versatile style keeps him in the squad, and we will see a bit more of him coming in as a number 8, coming in as a number 6, especially if Frank Lampard is still continuing to use Jorginho in that number 6 pivot role, the lone pivot. What does it mean for Billy Gilmour? Even if there is some truth to this Rangers story and Steven Gerrard wanting him, which, is believable, I think in terms of the fixture schedule, the congestion, I think it would be silly to let Billy Gilmour go, especially when he looks ready-made to play in this first team with no problems at all. Think about it, at the beginning of the season we were like, damn, we've got so many midfielders, but at the same time we were counting Barkley, Loftus-Cheek, Ethan Ampadu, as well as Gilmour and the players we've already got now. Obviously 3 of those have gone, so to be honest, I think with Frank Lampard talking about saying, look, we've got midfielders, but anything can happen, look what's happened to our wingers. Personally, I think Chelsea keep Billy Gilmour and just play him as a rotational player, as a number 6, as a number 8, moving into the final months of the season. And to be honest, man, he has every ability to break into this first team and just be a starting 11 player. Genuinely, whether that's over, and it sounds ridiculous, whether that's over Kante, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. It's ridiculous for him to displace any one of those for different reasons. Chelsea's record signing, the best CDM in the league or the best defensive midfielder in the league, and then Mason Mount, who's been our most influential midfielder. When you look at it that way, you're like, oh, it's going to be hard, Billy. But even if he just rotates in and out, replacing one here and there, that will probably be good enough for a teenager who's coming back from injury. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, what do you guys think? I'm keen to get your thoughts and opinions on the wingers and midfielder situation. Do you think there'd be value in loaning Billy Gilmour for 6 months to Rangers to go back there to play with Steven Gerrard for a little bit and then come back to Chelsea? Or do you think he's too good to loan out? Let me know your thoughts, opinions and feelings down in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed today's video, please do drop a like. Helps me out a lot. It really does. Subscribe if you're new, man. Daily content. And oh yeah, also go check out Jan's Yard. I'm uploading on there daily again. Different kind of videos talking about Arsenal and Man United, etc. So go check out Jan's Yard on YouTube. That's it from me. Enjoy the football, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living. I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines. I rap through thought. Body bag the verse. Outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.